Hi, welcome to this video on actualizing your potential, deeply connecting to your gifts, and bringing your unique purpose into the world. I'm Jeff Newton, Heart IQ coach and facilitator.
Hi, and I'm Sarah Newman, also a certified Heart IQ coach and trained facilitator. In this video, we're going to show you the biggest reason why some people fail to bring all of who they are into their life. In other words, why you may not be connected to your gifts or your full potential, and how you can begin to change that trend today.
Right, so let's get started with understanding why we don't have access to all of our gifts and all of our potential, and how those gifts may actually be hidden from us, lurking in the shadows.
So let's get specific about all of this. You see, we all have an emotional range, and what I mean by that is that we have access to any emotion that we want to, all the way from sadness, anxiety, rage, up to joy, bliss, gratitude, and oneness with everything. So the analogy would be like when light comes into a prism and it divides up into all of these different colors of the rainbow. Now, no color is better or worse than any of the other colors, even though we probably have a favorite, but all the colors are equally valuable, enjoyable, and necessary, and are all part of the light. But over the course of your life, you started to deem some of these parts as okay, and some of these parts as not okay. And some of these parts you probably really like, and some parts you may not like so much. Some of these parts you might even think are harmful.
Right, and this is where we might be influenced by events that happen to us in our lives, by outside circumstances and people, what some people call conditioning. I'll give you an example. Maybe we were young and we went to express some sadness, but we were made fun of when we went to do it, or we were embarrassed or even punished for being that way. And most of us have had experiences like this, where whether it's our family or our parents or our school, our religion, our culture, there's all kinds of sources. Our peers can teach us to be and express certain ways, can reward us for that, and punish us for not expressing, or rather for expressing the others. So we end up, in our attempt to become the best person we can be, accidentally cut off certain parts of our range, certain parts of ourselves, keep them out of sight, and then actually kind of forget about it. So the parts that you actually judge or make wrong, or don't want anyone to know about you, or don't want anyone to think about you, even if you don't think you're that kind of person, these unappreciated parts, these disowned parts of ourselves, are what we call our shadow. Now, it's really important to understand. The shadow is the focus of our video training series here. So I'll give another example really quick. If you had anger as the example, and you're a person who worked your whole life to make sure you're never angry, you said it'd be like saying that you are all these colors except this red one here. I'm not going to be this. And in reality, you're the light that's coming in. So you're therefore all of it. You're all the colors, not all the colors minus the red one.
So what happens when you don't own or express or have access to all of who you are? Well, there are some consequences that make it nearly impossible to actualize your full potential. So for starters, when we do disconnect from certain parts of our range, we then repress these emotions on a physical, emotional, and energetic level. So that actually creates physical blocks in our body where our energy gets trapped, and that can inhibit us in life, physically of course, but also that energy gets stuck and then it can't move. So our health, our well-being, and our vitality, just to name a few examples, can all suffer. Then emotionally, we aren't able to connect fully in life to our joy. To make matters worse, those unintegrated parts, the shadow parts, start to find a way to operate in unconscious or even unhealthy or distorted ways that can really become our greatest weaknesses. And that's actually what we commonly refer to as self-sabotage. But those unconscious parts or repressed parts are really just trying to get our attention, so they're actually a great thing.
Right, and it is a great thing because owning our shadows, doing this work, turns our biggest weaknesses into our greatest gifts. Because look, all of our gifts are going to be found here. This is the range, and every little part has a different gift for us, and every part of the emotional range actually is a source of energy and potential for our lives. So in the anger example, anger contains our passion, and it contains our healthy boundary of no, for protecting us from what isn't healthy for us or our loved ones. So that's one example of how it's vital for us to reconnect to all of these ranges and not make any of them wrong. And that way we can reconnect to the possible gifts and potentials inside of us. Integrating your shadow is the number one thing you can do in order to discover your hidden potential and your gifts. And it's really fuel for transformation in your life and for healing in your life. But there's definitely an art to it. So there's much more to it than saying, okay, that's it, I want to turn my shadows into my gifts, and changing it in a snap. It's not going to work like that, unfortunately. But we're just scratching the surface here in this first video. And just know that integrating your shadow does take time. There's no quick fix. It's all right. All healing has its time. And we'll be covering more as we continue in the next videos. But in order to get started right away, there is a worksheet with some reflective questions that you can find underneath this video. So please go ahead, download the questions, fill out the worksheet in order to prepare for our next video, lesson number 2, where we go deeper into an example that shows you the missing link that can turn your shadows into those great gifts.
So download the worksheet, fill it out, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care and goodbye for now.
Bye.